Here we go. Pistol round is going to commence between ENCE and Heroic. This is, if you are just joining us, the third and final map of this best of three between ENCE and Heroic.
Couches. They had little couches in there.
And we've got ENCE on that T side.
We only have a decoy, so no smokes, no flashes for this mid take, but I don't think that even matters for ENCE because they still get an opening.
Yeah, this is an interesting approach from ENCE, who's just looking like a fairly dry scale towards window here. Tessus, fighting around the vent, will be able to find one. That evens out the numbers here. And jumping across is Sunny. Will Tessus decide to push on forward? He will attempt to, but Sunny is there to greet him. 3-on-3 situation. There's still a player in Palace for Heroic as well. That will be Borup. So he will put a lot of pressure on these ENCE players, but also to exert pressure may be Alu. He's in the ladder room right now, but he doesn't peek in time to save his teammate. Sunny does fall. Stown takes him down, and Stown takes another life as well. It's just Alu in the 1v3, and Stown! Very nice round from him. 3-piece to close it out.
Yeah, great lurk in that situation. Really enabled his team. He just got 3 kills, so they won the round, but he caught Alu off guard completely.
It's a really good awareness from Heroic that how to stop just like where they needed to pause their positions, because ENCE didn't have actually a access to the A site, even though it felt very threatening that they were about to move onto it, but they didn't really have a clean way to take it, so they wanted to hold instead, and Heroic knew exactly the positions they had to take. So really good map awareness and team awareness from them, and they're gonna reap the rewards here, able to pick up the SMGs and so on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Not the best of moves right there, but Nico will clean it up. Great. So here's the spacing that we're talking about from the first map, where even though Cadian makes a mistake and kind of gets caught out, he has 2 of his teammates to immediately trade and get the kills. Something that we're kind of missing from on Train.
I do worry that maybe we'll see a similar story to Train for Heroic, that maybe there'll be a lot of setups involving Cadian's AWP on the CT side, because you can do so many different aggressions, and maybe that will be a problem if he's unable to connect those shots. But this is if we go back to the A game, B game, and C game type thing, Cadian's not in his A game right now. So if he has taken that map as evidence to realize, okay, there are some things I shouldn't be doing actually, and stick to the safer stuff, I think Heroic will definitely stand more of a chance, I think. Yeah.
So first gun round here, and a smoke followed by a molly. That may be... I'm not sure if that's a miscomm from Heroic or what, but they really want to shut down that Palace position at that very moment. Might have allowed Heroic to find some kind of opportunity across the map, but they look still satisfied with a retake A approach. And it will be Borup jump spotting from Toll Booth right now. And do look like they are in prime position to hit that A site, but they'll wait for their final member, who is not Borup. This is okay. Yeah, this is Sunny.
I was like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah, so Sunny is here to join his teammate. The real question in this round is, what do ENCE take away, as they should have a free access to the A bomb site. We'll see in just a moment.
But Heroic's kind of pushed up middle, so they know it's going to need to be A or B. ENCE has made the noise out in A, and Ariel gets killed on Borup. Good exchange, nice by Cadian. It looks like the bomb site's pretty wide open for ENCE. They just have to cut the Heroic off by the connector and stairs area.
They only have 1 smoke remaining now as well, so we'll have to see if that's going to be an issue or not. Well, this could be huge from Sunny. Oh, the transfer looked like it was on, but it doesn't yield a kill, unfortunately for them. The spray to deny the bomb point down to 1. That's so unfortunate for Heroic, but still pressing the issue. Able to take down Sunny finally, and it might look fairly good for them here. They have an incendiary still on Tessus. He has now tossed that. That is indeed going to allow them to get an extra kill, leaving X7, who's so weak. And now in this position, it seems like it could be good, but no. Cadian is doing a good job this round so far. And there's no additional grenades for Tessus to work with. Has to go for the frag. Ali goes for these jiggles, trying to bait out those shots, trying to play the time on the clock, and I think he's going to do so successfully. That's a nice pick-off, but there's no time. And Tessus, wow. He survives on 1 HP. That's kind of incredible. Is there an AK?
Vac meter, 1 HP vac meter. He knew exactly where to stand at that moment. Assistant help right there, obviously.
That'd be a weird cheat.
Yeah,
stand right here.
Yeah. All right. Well, ENCE are able to win the first gun round, but actually keep none of their players alive. So they upgrade to 5 or 4 AKs, I think it is, 1 Galil on X7, which means that they don't have much utility to work with. So whatever they opt for early in the round, Heroic should be able to read this as being where the eventual hit should end up. There's not too much room for misdirection when you don't have smokes to deny information from the Heroic side. And now Stown in an aggressive stance towards Catwalk here. ENCE in a passive default, hoping that Heroic do some of the dirty work for them and maybe give up a life or two, because it's going to be so hard to get these AKs involved in a way that can just isolate some of the angles. Sunny will try to find the first kill from Underpass here, peeking towards Connector, but Tessis is there and waiting, and Stown's position will be activated as well, as Cat Swing will come out from Aerial, but he's to fall too. And that's one of the only nades left for ENCE, flying towards window, but it won't actually achieve all too much, as Alu falls before he can really even see the whole window.
This is a really good recovery. If they actually survive a 5 here, this would be so huge. Like these early back and forths, it does feel really bad to be on the worst end of the battle for economic control, which is kind of going on here, and it obviously looks like that will be ENCE. Sergey just wants to do some damage here. Just an extra kill or two would be fantastic. Oh, he might be able to do it. Takes down one, so good damage on the following, but there is the trade eventually. So that's 3-1, and ENCE will absolutely be on the back foot here. They need a full save here. They don't really have the ability to... I mean, maybe they can buy a flashbang, but like I don't even think that they want to spend money on P250s. This is... they're in a really bad spot in that sense.
Yeah, Sergey could just buy one. Oh, he buys a P250. Could have bought a flash or a smoke, but trust his shots, and I don't blame him. He's just been a very consistent player for them. One of the few players from ENCE that have achieved top 20 in the world status at one point or another, because he was top 13 the year prior. Cadian taking down Sunny though, and Bora finds Aerial there. Quick work though on the A bomb site. Heroic are able to keep all 5 players alive. That bodes very well for them there, as they had already upgraded most of their guns to AKs at that point. This is very strong. This is a very strong position to be in if you're on the Heroic side. 4
AKs on CT's side, yeah, that's gonna hurt for ENCE. Make it a lot harder on trying to take over long choke points if you know, Heroic has some good crossfires.
It definitely makes a difference. But this should be a really interesting round. And going with a default, they've got a player towards Palace, one towards DB Apartments, trying to keep pressure, trying to keep the just a presence on the map, make sure that the CTs are not doing anything weird. And the meta kind of shifts between like the percentage of, do I put my A lurk towards A ramp or towards Palace? That's something that shifts quite a lot. So the story to be told there, but we do see ENCE developing their mid control. So rather talk about their options to build out of this. That top con smoke is still alive, but they can't be certain that this is Connector's cleared. They are now clearing it. So it's methodical, but this is a very typical opener.
ENCE are in a great position to pinch this bomb site out. It looks like it'll be a dry contact play. X7 from the top of the stairs. Sergey from Palace. Aerial, though, is the first to find the kill. Actually, he finds the second on top of that. ENCE has completely torn apart this A site. Don't even lose a single player, which will force Tessis and Stown to save. Thankfully for Heroic, they had many players alive in the previous couple of rounds, so they will be able to buy into the upcoming one. But leaving ENCE with all 5 alive is definitely not what they were hoping for, even on a loss here.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where Heroic have decided to play very passively and give up middle completely, which is that's okay to do. But the thing is, you have to have some kind of a reaction, in the sense that because in there they don't know if how much is present in connector. Is it going to be like a heavy connector push? If so, there's certain ways to deal with that. If it's going to be a spot where they leave one in connector but actually rotate players back to a ramp and split that way, do you want to deal with that another way? But they didn't have that information, so one way that the teams would play that is they would put like an AWPer on top of Ticket and try to just play really passive, and that would be the guy that would deal with the connector push and maybe have someone deeper on the side, or you just actually play retake if you don't have that information. It's just a tricky spot, and Heroic didn't make any info plays around the map at all. So
I was surprised by that as well. I thought they would have pushed into ramp or Palace at one point in that
Yeah.
after losing that mid space.
Could do something,
It'd
right?
be more ideal
Yeah.
for them to do that, so at least we'll have them allow to, focus on one area. And that's unfortunate.
He's down, turning away, and it looks like it's going to be another round for ENCE here off of just really a couple opening picks. Not too much to it. Nice flash from Sunny to enable aerial there, and once again, Tessis and Cadian have to save. Tessis has just not seen any action for the last couple rounds, and he hasn't really been able to even, I don't even think he's fired a bullet in the last 2 rounds.
I actually love this play because from ENCE, and the reason is because the way that Heroic lost the previous rounds, there's like a couple interpretations they could have in terms of how they would adapt into the next round. And one of the, I think, likely things that they would have done is play for more mid control. So either it's a mid setup or it's just an early investment in mid. Whichever way that works, the early there's a timing attack on the A site where the positions would be basically mostly voided or very weak for Heroic. So ENCE hit during that timing. And the other way that maybe Heroic would have played it is they would have played for information somewhere. They actually didn't do anything differently, Heroic, and they still got run over. So that just works out really well for ENCE. But that's kind of the thinking. That's why you would throw in a fast timing attack onto the A site in those situations.
All right, well, Heroic still manage a buy in this round. Now ENCE, they have the entire world is their oyster at this point. They've shown a couple different looks that have been successful, and they'll be opting for B this round. There's a big distraction from Sunny here towards middle, and it's causing Heroic to lose a lot of information. On the site will be Tessis, who hasn't seen action for a couple of rounds, but he's able to find the first pick of this one. Nice hold from him there at the get right position. Looking for more, but it's Cadian who's actually able to support him, taking down X7 as well. And ENCE at this point, they look stopped in their tracks. They have to find something from this B apartment position. It's so tricky to find a in on this site at this point, but will they be able to do it? Alu trying to find an op pick. Does clear out that window, but how will he move on forward? How will he try to involve himself and enable his teammates to unlock this site? Sunny jumps out of the window and falling down is able to take down Tessis. Quick trade comes out from Nico, and Sergey jumps on top of the van to take out Nico as well, but it's just Sergey in the 1v3. He tags down to a single HP, but he's unable to clutch it out. Heroic put up a good defense at B.
So I wonder if ENCE is having to tell right now, because you saw that round, Honey kind of took a mid by himself, and I think the idea was if Heroic converged on mid, then ENCE would be ready to attack B pretty fast, but no one rotated from Heroic into the middle. So I think that you have to have kind of maybe a contingency plan for if you're taking mid like a kind of a fake and there's no one there, you got to assume that they're stacked in either A or B in terms of numbers.
Indeed.
Yeah, that could have called for a reroute. Like you mentioned, that's that Sunny did acquire so much information. You think that maybe a more experienced team would opt for a couple players underpass and just say, "Oh wow, they really did give this up." Maybe boost into window, get someone in connector, actually use that space that Sunny acquired.
It's almost happened the same thing this round. He literally was not by himself, but looks like ENCE is taking advantage of this. But Cadian's ready for that boost. Maybe not line up towards the that cubby spot, you know, for the head boost. Crosshair's gonna be there anyways.
Heroic have a very odd approach to how they defend mid, but it was very successful this time around. It was almost passive at first, but they are still able to find the kills, just leaving X7 in the 1v4, but he's surrounded by all of these Heroic players. And good recovery from Heroic. The money that they had in the first couple of rounds was so instrumental for them in the last two. The fact that they had so few deaths and the fact that they saved those guns at B both times when ENCE did eventually hit A in their successful gun rounds, and Heroic are able to build off of that so fantastically. And now ENCE is in the hole after a couple round losses.
Yeah, it's so it's kind of unexpectedly back and forth for me. That said, I think the double orbs will be an interesting difference now moving forwards for Heroic. I'm kind of curious how that's going to play out, but of course first we'll have a save round for ENCE. The double orbs is interesting because, you know, if you have one AWP, I feel like on Mirage, one AWP is generally better in most of the time, and two AWPs is cool, and you want to play really aggressively with one and feel okay with losing it, just as something that will just catch off the team for a while. But the beauty of having one AWP is that you can rotate it around, and if the other team's kind of default heavy in particular, there's going to be a lot of spots where they're going to be taking certain angles and not expecting an AWPer, but maybe expecting a rifler instead, and that can actually just be your death. So we'll see how this works out. ENCE haven't been too shy to run set pieces too, so the double ops retakes into that can be awkward. So yeah, super curious how this choice for Heroic will help them or hinder them.
Heroic are playing 3 people in A, and it looks like it's going to be kind of somewhat of an A pinch. We'll see who would attack first. It looks like maybe ENCE will throw the smokes first and let the mid kind of scoop up from behind. Nades are going off. So far, no movement from ENCE. Bait the nades, and Sunny's going to come out. Oh, he's managed to sneak out. But he gets taken up by Nico.
Yeah, good hold so far. Nico, I was about to say, is pushing out quite aggressively there by himself. And that's it's going to be quite troublesome. His teammates were not able to help him. Although the weapon superiority is causing issues for ENCE. But they have a couple kills. I don't know that they can actually get a bomb plant here. They may want to try to play for the kills. But yeah, Ali's going to take down Tessa somehow.
That smoke actually gives ENCE room to go for a plant, but instead of doing so, they'll back off of the angle. Sergey trying to buy some time for Alu there, who is rotating all the way to B. This is actually, generally speaking, a high percentage play in terms of getting the bomb down, but it would have been nice if Sergey was able to stay alive just a little bit longer on that A site to buy that space and time, and maybe even find a kill after that smoke dissipates. He was offered that. But now Heroic know the jig is up. Alu in a 1v2 situation, playing the empty pillar, or playing the van pillar actually. And Cadian and Stauner are being very cautious about their approach. They have 2 ops, so this isn't actually a very easy retake for them. But they'll bust out the USPs, and Alu without head armor, it's just one headshot to take him down. Will he be able to find them? Playing now around bench. They're lining up, but Stoun does find that headshot.
Surprised not one of them picked up a rifle in that 2-on-1 situation. You know, it's incredibly difficult to retake with 2 ops.
That was so scary. They lost so much money there. They lost one of the 2 orbs. They're actually gonna
they go for it again.
Rebuy it. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Again, it's like it is the case when the other team recognizes you're playing double orbs. They just know there's double orbs. So I think the fact that when you have just one, the fact that the other team has to kind of guess and they can't really account for it as much actually benefits you more, generally speaking. But we'll see if Heroic can continue to make it work. But back to the default here, and we'll see exactly whether ENCE finish it similarly, or if Heroic actually throw in an info play, which is harder to do with double orbs. But I think previously, when ENCE ran around like this and went for a 4-man connector push, Heroic didn't have any orbs. And I actually think that having like an AWP around ticket is actually one of the ways you deal with that.
Yep.
Yeah, Cadian's there right now. So as they lose this control, Heroic actually do go for an info play towards ramp, so they're able to clear this space out. It's a very wise choice. They've learned from their mistakes nicely here. and it actually looks like most of the defense for Heroic is centered around this A site. Cadian will have that op that you wanted to see, but it'll actually be Tessis to find the 2 opening frags there. He's tagged down very low, and Cadian, he knows that there has to be a player at Palace at this point. With those players coming up connector, it's just also telegraph for him, and he's able to take down another, looking for more, but through the box, X7 will find him, but he isn't able to find much more than that.
Yep, contact play against Alps, not a great idea.
Yeah. It's always, and like the connector versus the ticket AWPer. I mean, obviously we saw Tessis do a great job to actually kill most of that push himself, but it's just very difficult because the AWPer doesn't even have to kill everyone. If he just gets like a shot off, maybe just as they're going through the smoke, picks off one, he doesn't even necessarily need to re-peek. It's just the fact that then those connector players freeze because they have to cover a lot of ground to get to the site, and if they're doing that, they will be easy pickings for the AWP. So in most cases, that extra time that they're frozen is time that your team rotates, and then you get the timing advantage, or they lose the timing that they needed to make the round work. So that was a perfect adjustment, just as you said, Alex, as well. Like just the fact that we had the A ramp push as well, so they could figure out, okay, are they actually rotating back away from mid to split from ramp and connector and Palace, or is it going to be like up that big surge through connector again? And they got the info to know exactly what was up, so.
And generally, you know, if you're playing against a double op, you know, since it's harder to retake bomb sites, you have a little more room on doing these set piece executes. And as I say that, ENCE has a bunch of people towards that B halls. I think Sonny's trying to make noise, but it's not going to work as Tessis just cleans up 2 players easily. And now this spells trouble for ENCE. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it looks like Sound's going to shut it down. I've been really impressed with Tessis' sprays. His control, I haven't really seen actually any other player as consistently hit sprays at this tournament or even the phase 2 of it thus far where Tessis does. He was continuing the spray as he jumped up onto the B sign and still managed to find that second kill very quickly. So it seems like he's always just taking down 2 with any kind of extended shot, any kind of spray.
Yeah, he's a really solid rifler, isn't he? I remember being really impressed with him at Flashpoint on CPH Flames. But, oh, more of a presence in connector this time. X7. Oh my god, speaking of extended sprays, X7's just trying to find some target to shoot at. But they're all disappearing. And the push up A ramp as well is causing some problems, but...
Is it 69?
Oh. You don't want to go there.
Didn't want to do it.
It's too easy, you know?
It was too easy.
Oh.
Apparently the meter is random. Oh. But there's a low, medium, and high. Okay, well. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't.
For the magic again.
I'm sorry.
The fourth wall has been broken once again.
I was just being fed info, and I just thought I have to relay this. But
you gotta recode it now.
It's not how it
gotta be precise. You want the number 69. The people have spoken.
I think that makes it more exciting knowing that it's a little bit random. Because when it hits a cool number now, we know that it's a little bit more random or lucky. Or it's a treat.
I like how you spun that.
Yeah, you know? It's a treat. It's not. I didn't make a mistake.
Never.
All right, well, some kind of a recovery there. Tess is holding on to connector. Sonny has to go and deal with it. Here's the reload. There's the punish. Speaking of which, Cadian catching X7. He thought it was safe to move across. But now Sonny's got it all to do. 1 versus 2. And this is so difficult on Mirage. How do you find a way to plant? Stone actually goes and peeks. Even though Sonny had to plant, it was in this like impossible situation where he can't plant. Stone's like, you know what? I'm just going to 1v1 you. I'm better than you, Sonny.
I like that. I actually do like that. It's not totally... he's using a right eye peek for 1, so it's actually not the worst peek. And 2, he probably does have to move to the bomb site, so once if he didn't see him through that line, then he would just know he's probably to his right, or has to just circle around the box. So it actually, it's not too difficult of a situation. Usually, most CS logic would tell you to try to peek simultaneously or do a 2v1. But
if you had a rifle, I'd definitely stay back. But
exactly.
You had the one spot.
They bought 1 grenade this round and 5 AKs, and it was not even a smoke, it's a flashbang, and it's working! God damn it, it's working.
For now. It's working for now, but the round is a 3-on-3. ENCE does get the bomb plant.
Oh, this angle.
Oh, so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit of elevation. A little bit of an off angle there from Ali. This is... All right, so what ENCE have learned here is that they don't need to buy grenades. Just buy AKs.
Yeah.
That was the lesson here. I don't think I've seen a round like that for a while. I'll have to see if that's in the playbook of Heroic, I guess, after the break. Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. Back on the attack. Heroic looking for that B-bomb site plants.
They're all there.
Yep.
They're group. They're unity. They're one.
Oh.
Party.
Well, X7's able to find one. Sunny, nice tracking from him, able to take down another. But 3v3 situation on the retake. Aerial trying to scale up Catwalk right now, unable to find anything. The bomb is yet to be planted, actually. But Stown taking down Sergey, trying to jump through the smoke, and wow, just so quick. In the blink of an eye, Heroic are able to find that pistol.
2 one-shots to the Glock. That's not fair.
That was kind of odd there, actually. Like I kind of understand delaying the plant a little bit, but Tessa was kind of like trying to fight the guy on Cat.
Yeah.
And he had the bomb, and it's
That was
like,
odd.
don't do this, man. Because the thing as well is that if he loses that fight, even if that kill gets traded, one of his teammates has to go out of his current position to run across to get the bomb to plant, and then that's the time when his teammates then in 1v2. So it's like it can get out of control.
Yeah, and the score may have gotten out of control for ENCE at this point. 12-4, that was I would say that was a must-needed pistol win.
Yeah.
At this point, it feels like there's no way Heroic won't just squeak out 4 more rounds in this game.
Mm-hmm.
They have too deep of a playbook where it doesn't, they could throw out defaults, they could throw out set plays, some kind of fake execs, anything in their bag of tricks. And Cadian has amassed a very large playbook in the last couple years as an IGL.
ENCE didn't even, were not really doing too much either on their T side. It was quite one-dimensional. So, and Heroic didn't need to do much either to deal with it. So, that was kind of what I was worried about, ENCE's T side. I'm pretty confident that they can have a good CT side, but the problem is they just didn't get that much, obviously, in that first half. But see if they can do something with the force buy. Lots of softened up players for the remaining pistols to have a better time. Ali has a scout too, but... And that scout's actually going to connect onto Storm. He's got to be cautious. 3 players that will die to a scout shot in 1 shots now.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
All right, well, Ali's almost dead. Yeah, I've got to keep these guns alive for the next round. Honestly, a scout can be so powerful. It actually throws me back to the old days again when you would see people teams playing at the top level and doing these anti-force buy rounds, and it's the other team with their force has a scout, and they're just like allowing the guy with the scout to take so many shots before they've done anything. And it's like, now you've got 3 players that have been tagged by the scout, and suddenly those in CZs or Deagles,
Yeah.
they're going to kill you one shot. It's
Right.
like, got to be careful about that.
I think that's so classic on Overpass to just see a scout and 4 Deagles, and then the scout just goes for body shots, because you have so many opportunities to find those single body shots as you would with an op, and even with a scout it's actually easier to move around and just find those little pop shots here and there, and once the scout finds that initial damage, then the Deagles just clean it up once the players inevitably have to push on the bomb site.
Heroic were able to at least avoid any such tragedies. But the scout is still, as we mentioned, still in the round. Mid take going well though. It's difficult for ENCE, isn't it? It's such an awkward place to be.
Yeah, they're just getting torn apart right now. Was Nico, so... But the scoreline is 14-4, so you would like to see a little bit more urgency, if possible.
Tassus is 21 for 6, and Storm is also 21 for 6.
They are having a really solid game.
Yeah, this is shaping up really nicely for Heroic here. Thought this was going to be a little bit closer, but this has actually been the most lopsided game thus far.
That's true, actually. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, well, Heroic. Are they going to try to fake a little bit here? This looks kind of like a fake setup.
So it's like an A fake into a B explode. But ENCE has 3 people. Oh, I don't know. This might be bad because they have their nades out, not their guns. Oh!
Oh, and that flash is so good. Aerial somehow able to recover and find one. 3-on-3 situation. Sunny is still tucked on the bomb site. He should be able to stop this plant, actually. Heroic taking that space for granted, and Sunny going into his own smoke. I think he may have been spotted at one point here by Tessis, but he actually makes his way onto the van position, and Sergey takes down Tessis there. ENCE showing a little bit of life off of a sneaky play that doesn't quite work out in the way that I think they expected, but Sunny's able to recover it very heroically. That's
such a weird round of Mirage because both teams abandoned mid entirely, and for some reason ENCE blind stacked 3 on B. That's super weird. I mean, I think it's because they wanted to make the info play on B apartments with 2 players, and in case it went wrong, that's the contingency. But still, it's kind of crazy it worked out like that.
No fear. Just by himself against a pro team just running out. Why not? See if he can get 1 or 2.
ENCE actually missed the Astralis smoke there. They ended up throwing a second top mid smoke. Oh, Sergey. Quick shot on a Nico there, and while completely blind, almost takes down Stown. A nice attempt from him, but the trade does come out. 3-on-3 situation. Sunny already shaping up for a fast flank here onto these A players. ENCE knows where this hit is coming, and it's all going to be going down on this A bomb site.
Cadian seems to have a good inkling as to this flank, but he's unable to deal with it. And now that's a lot of pressure on that you have to worry about, and it's very smart of Sunny to just rotate all the way around. And now he has to stay alive.
Oh no!
That's unfortunate. It's hard because if you're Ali, you feel like you have a chance to get a quick shot and fall back and recover, and then, but now Sunny's in a horrible position. And I think Sunny's play was really smart to just instantly rotate back out of that flank position.
Oh, it's very smart. It's something that he had to do, but it was unfortunate for his teammates to not play defensive to allow him to make that space work.
Oh, just lands right at his feet. Sunny, 1v2 situation, has to win this round, but it's unable to do so. Jumps out the window, Stown taking him out. 15-5 scoreline, and man, that broke down so interestingly. I thought as well Aldo had a chance to find some kind of shot there at CT.
Yeah, it felt like a good... It made a lot of sense, but they were very ready for it.
Borup just ripped his head off instantly.
He's got to kind of take into account if you know someone's flanking your spawn, most likely the other teammates are going to be in the area as well. But, I mean, you should just play passive. Like, just hide, maybe wait for them to tap the bomb. Because, if they tap the bomb, you know that where one person is in that 2-on-3 situation.
That being said, it's a really heads-up play from Heroic to just know that Sunny was on the flank. We got a kill on one of the players pushing onto the bomb site. We just need a 2-on-1 this guy towards CT. I think Alu may have been able to stay alive a couple seconds longer.
It's going to get sprayed, though, right through that box.
Yeah, but they're going to trade. At the best case scenario is that he tucks passively and finds like a quick scope or something, a no scope maybe. It's
like that spot's hard to be in, though.
Yeah.
Like by ticket, it's just you're so exposed if your teammates are dead and you can't fall back.
That's probably what he was thinking too. Is like I might as well be the guy to take the initiative.
Yeah.
Because if he makes a 1v1 for his Sunny, Sunny's playing against a guy that hasn't planted the bomb yet too. So that's also a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot. Speaking of which, this could be the last round of this series, and it comes down to Sergey, it seems. Great headshot. That's going to at least weaken the push slightly, but maybe not enough. It's still pretty damn strong. Oh, the gun has been spotted. Aerial makes the play, but doesn't get the kill. That's so heartbreaking for Aerial. But Storn is having a crazy game. Everything's going his way.
Yeah. Cadian holding the angle on Alu. X7 left in the 1v4. player who has been subbed out by Yampy needs to try to make a huge play, and Borup just takes him down. Heroic, a dominant Mirage there, 16-5. And some final thoughts right here.
They turned off the suck button.
They just
like,
flipped
you
that
know
switch
what?
again.
We want to win right now. Let's actually try this time around. Why not?
Right.
But I felt like ENCE, a lot of the rounds that they did win, were kind of lucky in terms of position of the other team where they just turned and looked away. So might have a lot to tell on their T side, which seems to be an ongoing thing with them ever since Alexi B was gone. So
Yeah. I think we'll get more to it after a quick break. We'll break that down in a post-game segment.